Hey everyone. Yeah, this is not going to be like a full-fledged review basically because if you really want to get a full-fledged review, I'll say this. Check out Angry Joe's review of the game when he puts it out later today or whenever. But I am here to talk about, sort of give you a bit of I guess you could say a little bit of a mini review, a small review, basically on the fighting aspect of it, as well as talk about a few other things as well. Like I said, if you want a full-fledged review, I highly recommend checking out Angry Joe's review on it. He's going to definitely give this thing a positive review. There's no doubt about that. I'm believing he will, but I'm not going to be surprised if he does find a few negatives in there, especially with what I'm going to talk about in this video. First of all, of course, if you don't see it above here or down here, depending on where you're watching the video, if you don't see the title, what it says, yes, I am doing a bit of a mini review on Mortal Kombat 10, or Mortal Kombat X, as they call it. And I have to say that this game is definitely a good fighting game. It's definitely one of the best you're going to get, if not the best. The graphics, especially on the next gen, are tremendous. As you probably saw in my mini haul video, if you will, where I showed that I bought this. Excuse me. It looks good on the TV I got. Like I said, the graphics are definitely a huge improvement. Not saying that Mortal Kombat 9 didn't have good graphics, they did, but these you can definitely tell a step up, and there's a lot of things you can like about, especially the fighting aspect. Now they do have various options for you to do. You can do 1-player, 2-player. You can do story mode, of course. You can do the towers. I think I think that depends on the. You can do the towers, I believe. You can test your skill. You can practice, and you have the options as well. The main menu when you start up has 3 things on top of it. It has in the middle, it has the advertisements, basically, of what's available through DLC, what you can get through the crypt and all that, and what's coming. On the other side, I think it's the right side or left side, you have the factions, and on the other side you have the towers. And at times, basically, when you're done playing playing a match and all that, or you go straight to the main menu again, depending on how you do this. Either you select a new fight or you go to the main menu, which I think is mainly when you go to the main menu, you get some kind of information. You'll get information of, okay, this faction has won, and this invasion is happening. So that's mainly what you get sometimes. And that's pretty cool. And that is pretty cool. Another thing about this, and I think I did play this a few times in just the fighter mode, is after a while, after a few fights, well, not a few fights, but after several fights, I didn't really keep count, you'll get an assassin coming in. And it's mainly at times, the assassin is either Scorpion or it's Quan Chi. So after a few fights, after I guess a certain amount of fights, you'll end up facing either Scorpion or Quan Chi. Scorpion the first few times, and then Quan Chi is the next time. So, and I think that depends on how high you rank. The higher you rank, the more you level up, that's when you start getting to that level. so yeah, the fighting aspect overall, the fighting part of it is really good. I mean, being able to use the environments around you to help you out. Like if you're playing as Reptile, you're choosing Reptile stage. You can climb on the vines. You can jump. Depending on like the certain stages, you can climb on vines. You can jump off things, stuff like that, and perform moves. You even get some nice cinematic footage, if you will, or cinematic cutscenes when you're using an object from the background, like a pipe or something like that, or a totem, or a tiki pole, whatever it is, a fire pole, and you're hitting somebody with it. You get a nice cinematic cutscene there, so that's pretty cool. Just some great additions right there that are very, in my opinion, very welcomed. The X-rays are still there, and they're just as gruesome as ever. I can tell you that, but they're fun to do. They're fun to do. So, and it all depends on the level you are. Sometimes, even when you're on medium, which I'm at right now, excuse me. When you're on medium, sometimes it's a little tricky because it all depends on how you can get to how you get in a position to do it to your opponent. So, yeah, it's kind of like it's kind of like when you play Injustice, and there are certain characters that you can only do those special moves with when they get into a certain position. It's kind of like that at times, but most of the times it's just the R2 and L2 buttons, I think, that you press at the same time, and then that's how you kind of get your X-ray, I believe. But it's really, like I said, it's just as gruesome as ever, and so you better have a strong stomach when you see some of these. The character selection I really like. I mean, there are some characters that are not there right anymore, so that's kind of disappointing, but there are some characters that we're going to be getting through DLC, and basically through when you when you finish story mode, you'll end up getting one other character, which I'm pretty sure that character is going to end up being DLC anyway. So, but yeah, you end up getting you end up getting these characters. Goro, of course, is playable when you go into the towers or something like that, but you can also unlock him through DLC as well, which I'll probably do this weekend. But as far as anything else, as far as the other characters there, Devore is a great addition. Aaron Black, I haven't played him, but apparently he's a good addition. Takata is a good addition. Cassie Cage is going to be a huge fan favorite. There's no doubt about that, along with Jacqueline Briggs. Those two ladies are going to be huge fan favorites. It's nice to see Sonya Blade, which is one of my personal favorite characters, back in there. Scorpion and Sub-Zero, of course, you can't have a game without them. Raiden's nice to see. Katana, oh, she's nice to see as well, especially with the fact that she's obviously more regal. She's still the same Katana, but it's more like you could tell there's a bit of a personality change there. Melina is good to see again. Just a lot of good favorites along with some new ones as well, so nice variety. It's a nice variety. Again, like I said, there are some that were taken out that I know some people wish weren't, like Jade, she's not there. So, but just really, really good to see. Just really good to see. As far as the gameplay goes when it comes to fighting, again, if you want a full-fledged review, go check out Angry Joe. But as far as the as far as the fighting, the gameplay for the fighting, again, it's just tremendous. It's really fun. I mean, like I say, you get these personal interactions. I mean, like you could replay the same match. You can rematch all the time the same two characters after one match is over, and you'll always get a different, different interaction between them, different sayings and stuff. So that's really cool. It's actually a really cool thing there. I mean, you don't get that with Injustice, but hopefully you'll get that with the sequel of Injustice. But here you get a variety of interactions between them. So I do like that. Again, the gameplay, as far as fighting goes, is really good. Like I said, you can use environments to do, to jump off and fight and perform moves. You could use environments, parts of environments like a pipe or a tiki pole or whatever it's called, a fire totem, to basically hit somebody with, and you get a cinematic cutscene with that. Just overall great gameplay. There are some things in there that I don't think we have yet seen yet, or we have yet to know how to do. Like Liu Kang's his kicks where he goes woo. I haven't seen. I have to look and how to see if that's still there, but hopefully it is. Again, though, overall, just decent gameplay for the fighting game. Probably one of the best we've had in a while. Like I said, the addition of using the environments and actually using parts of the environment to get those cinematic cutscenes is really good. As far as the fatalities go, the fatalities are just as gruesome, if not more so. One of my personal favorites is Reptiles. He has two fatalities. I mean, they have two fatalities. Every character does. But the fatality I like mostly is when he spits on the ground, basically spits on the feet of his opponent, and he basically spits like a little acid bath, and they start melting. Basically, they start melting into the puddle. They start melting down. They become part of the acid puddle. And what's funny about that is, instead of just letting them completely melt down and everything, what's funny about that is they're melting down and everything. Halfway through the melting, he shoots his tongue out, grabs the opponent's head, rips it off, and eats it. And then the rest of the body just goes straight down into the puddle, and then all that's left is the hand. It's, I think, the left hand, and the left hand starts to curl up like this, and afterwards it just twitches a little bit, and that's all that remains in the green puddle. Other ones are kind of gruesome as well. Scorpions, he's got two new ones. Is one of the gruesome ones. I think a lot of people have said, even Angry Joe, when he was playing, I guess, a trial version of this with Jeremy Johns a few weeks ago, said it was nasty. But basically, one of the fatalities is when Scorpion, he just, I think, shoots a fireball into your stomach, and then your heart hangs out, and you just drop to your knees, and then he takes his sword and slices your front face off, and you got your opponent's got your character or your opponent has this expression of, and all of a sudden you get this slice, and then all of a sudden Scorpion, like I say, he slices the head off, and all of a sudden the face is like, it just droops off, and that's it. So that's really, and then they fall back, and you see the brain kind of come out, and then the tongue all cut in half and everything. So it's really nasty at times. And then the other part is where he basically he lifts up this rock, kind of like pedestal, something like a rock thing. Then he shoots his chain at you, grabs you, kind of chops your head off, I think. Shoots a chain basically shoots his chain at you or something. Takes your head off, and then throws some kind of a dagger. At the same time, he throws your head towards the rock thing, and the dagger hits right between your head, and then it sticks your head to the rock. So that's kind of gross. You got Raiden. He does his thing. I haven't performed the other one yet, but the one that was performed by Jeremy and Angry Joe was when he grabs your head, and all of a sudden your eyes pop out, and then your head explodes off your head, your body, and then he just shoots lightning at your head, and it just blows up. So that's really kind of gross at times. You have Cassie Cage. She has two. Cassie's, one of them is where she just basically shoots at you, and you fall to your knees, and the one of the wounds in your head is bleeding, so she takes a gum out of her mouth, puts it on your head, and then lets it pop on your head and it pushes you back and then that's it or something like that. And then the then the other one is basically where she kind of slices off your bottom part of your jaw, your face, and then instead she just grabs you before you fall and then takes a selfie and puts it on their version of Facebook, if you will. So again, some just gruesome ones out there. Katana, of course, she has hers. One is basically where she throws her blades at her little fan blades, and one just pops open or something like that. And then the other ones where she chops off your arms and stuff, and then throws you up into a whirlwind, and then her blades just take all of you apart, and it's all that's left is your hands and the top of your head. Again, these are, I mean, they're just gruesome, man, just really gruesome. So, and then Jacqueline Briggs, she's got one where she basically grabs your head and just punches her fist right through it. And then that's it. So, Sub-Zero, he's got one where he kind of freezes you at first, and then he picks you up and then tears you apart. And then there's another one where he lifts some ice spikes from the ground and he pushes you down on them, and then he steps on you, and that's how he kills you as well. Because basically, he basically pushes you down on the ice spikes. You go right through them, and then to finish you off, he steps right on you, and then the ice spikes go right through your whole body, and as well as pops one of your eyes out. So again, just really, these are, like I said, really gross fatalities. Very good. I haven't done all the fatalities yet, but you know, they are really, really something to check out if you ever get a chance to play it. Now, speaking of fatalities, I know Angry Joe's going to probably talk about this, and I know a lot of people have talked about this. The fatalities, well, the way the fatalities in the game are performed. Now, when you perform a fatality, you do have the option of doing it traditionally, just like with every Mortal Kombat game that's come before. You have you basically can have the option of pressing all the combinations of buttons to perform the fatality. Well, one of the criticisms that this game has gotten was the fact that NetherRealms has gone soft, I guess you could say, and have decided to give players, like let's say myself and others out there, a more easier way to perform the fatalities. And now here's something I know Joe's gonna talk about. One, with the fatalities, you can earn fatality. Now, right off the bat, basically like the first time I think you buy the game, you get 3 easy fatalities right off the bat. But throughout the game, you can earn tokens, coins if you will, to use in the crypt to unlock different items. And you can use this as well to unlock easy fatalities. Like I say, you get 3 right off the bat, and you get more as you go on. Well, one of the criticisms that this game has gotten is the fact that it's nice that you can go out and earn the easy fatalities through gameplay and all that, with the tokens that you earn during your matches and all that you can spend in the crypt. But one thing that a lot of people have been criticizing, in fact one fan tweeted a photo to Joe about this, is you also have another option. And that option is to spend money, microtransact if you will, to get the easy fatalities right off the bat. That's right. You can, instead of going and earning them, you can actually get, depending on what you want to spend, 5 or 30 easy fatalities right off the bat. And this is how it goes. For this, and I'm sure it goes for the Xbox One and the PC versions, you can spend basically 99 cents